Hello, welcome to another GCSE Business tutorial with Taking the Biz, and in this video we're going to be examining the different methods of secondary market research as well as the benefits and limitations of it as a source of information. So secondary market research is collecting information that it already exists. We know that primary market research is going out and collecting new information, collecting that information for the first time. Secondary market research is different. This time we're looking at information that somebody else has collected previously for a different purpose, but the results of that information might still be useful to us as a business. Now, there are different sources of secondary information that a business and its managers might be able to access. The first is to use the internet, which has a plethora of sites that businesses might find useful. In particular, businesses might be able to use the internet to look at websites created by rival businesses in the industry. And from that, they might be able to find out information about the products their rivals sell, or maybe about the prices that their rivals charge, that the business can use when they're plotting and planning their own decisions. There are also other internet sites, media outlets, for example, that might write articles on the industry or the market that you're in, or write articles about rivals that you might have in that industry that managers might find useful when they are making business decisions and forming strategies. But another source of valuable information that is available through secondary market research is literature that might have been produced by our rivals as well. Things like catalogues that rivals might have prepared for customers that we can access and use to find out about the prices and the products and the promotions that our rivals use. Or things like price lists or flyers that contain offers and promotions and information about our rivals' businesses are all rich and valuable sources of information for our business. One thing that a business might be able to purchase that is a type of secondary market research is what is known as market reports. So there are businesses out there, organizations that are devoted to collecting information about different industries, and they compile reports and statistics and conduct their own market research that they will sell to other businesses in that industry. So there might be market reports on the cosmetics industry, or the automobile market, or the confectionery market. And if you are active in one of those particular industries, you might be able to purchase this report that will have a variety of facts and figures and statistics and findings all about the market that you are in, that you might be able to use to help you with your decision making. As well as private businesses creating that information, the government carries a lot of information that, although collected for a different purpose, businesses might find useful. So the government in the UK actually has its own website called statistics.gov that is full of information about the UK population. A lot of this information is collected by the census, which is a report on who's living in the UK that's conducted every 10 years. And this can be used to create statistics about who's living in the UK, what kind of people in terms of their age, their gender, their location, their income, are living and active in the UK. And again, businesses might be able to use this information to find out what customers might be like in the areas that they are active, in the different regions of the UK that they are selling in, and use it to help them design the business and its offerings to consumers. Now, secondary market research has some very distinct benefits, and in exam questions we might get asked to talk about the pros and cons of secondary research and maybe even evaluate it against primary market research and discuss which the business might be best using. So secondary research can be particularly useful or important to new businesses, for entrepreneurs that might just be starting out, because such entrepreneurs are going to be working to quite tight budgets. When you start a new business, you want to try and use your resources to help produce your products, to market your business, to try and achieve a certain quality level. You might be reluctant to spend too much of your startup capital researching your market, you might be more eager to just get up and running and start trading. Well, secondary research can be a lot cheaper, particularly if we're using methods such as the internet or maybe literature that's produced by our rivals. So that can be very advantageous to businesses, particularly newer ones. In addition, collecting secondary market research might be a far quicker process than collecting primary market research. When we're collecting primary data, we've got to design that market research, go out ourselves and collect it, and then we've got to take time analysing the results as well. With secondary market research, we might be able to get that information a lot quicker, particularly if it's using the internet to access government reports or to look at data that is on our rivals. We can find that information out maybe in the course of just one day, and then we can get straight to analysing that information and judging what it might mean for our business far quicker. So we get to learn about our market with secondary research potentially far quicker than we might do with primary. However, we do have the problem that with secondary market research, the information we are viewing might be out of date. When we're purchasing market reports from a private business, that information might have been collected a few weeks ago or a few months ago, possibly even years ago. And although the information might still be relevant to us and useful, its reliability and its use is diminished by the fact that it might be out of date and not reflective of what customers think and feel and demand right now. We've also got the problem that if we're reliant on secondary market research, we might not be able to find out the answers to the exact questions that we have as a business. With primary market research, if there's something we want to know about the market that we operate in and the customers that we're targeting, we can go out and ask that question directly. We get to set the narrative. We get to decide the objectives of the market research that we are doing. But with secondary market research, we're looking at information that somebody else has collected for a different purpose. And although it can be very useful to us, and it might be that we find some secondary data that answers the questions we have exactly, it might be that we can't find that information. So we might have to adapt what we find through secondary market research and make it try and fit what we're trying to decide to do. Or it might be that we simply can't find the information through secondary research that helps us make the decisions that we are looking to make. So secondary market research has some great advantages, particularly for new businesses. It's got some limitations as well. Hopefully this video will help you answer questions on this topic. We will see you very soon, and you keep on taking the biz.